She is a recovering porn, weed, and heroin addict.
Porn, weed, and heroin.
A smoking accusation?
She still smokes pot, Your Honor.
I'm not saying I've never smoked it.
I know you smoke weed. Be quiet.
Real cases before a real judge. Now, of 2012.
See, please.
Highlighted portion.
You operate like a little lawyer over there.
Trying to make it easy.
I'm playing crazy.
You're about right. You're not.
Plaintiff Matthew Warner says after the defendant moved to Los Angeles to be a singer, they became roommates. But the only singing he ever heard from the defendant was in the shower. Matthew claims the defendant not only brought bed bugs into the unit, but he also failed to pay rent and utilities. Defendant Julian Howergy says he did not bring bed bugs into the apartment and insists they were there when he moved in. Julian feels he's paid more than he owes, and he's countersuing for harassment.
Start with you.
All right. I met the defendant through my roommate's coworker last summer. Julian moved in with us last summer, and he moved to LA to be a singer, although the only thing we ever heard from him was through the shower, which was a lot. Julian moved in on June 4th. We had a verbal agreement that he would pay $592 a month plus utilities. We were going month to month, and everything was good for the first couple of weeks, and then we started getting bed bugs.
I'm sorry. It was actually after I moved in, right away for me that I started experiencing the bed bugs.
All right.
Unfortunately, I have a witness statement right here from Julian's former residence where they contracted bed bugs in May of 2012.
See, please.
Highlighted portion.
You operate like a little lawyer over there.
Trying to make it easy.
More of Judge Mathis in a moment.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. You said more of Judge Mathis.
Sued by his former roommate, who claims Julian brought bed bugs into the unit.
Go ahead.
So after he presumably brought the bed bugs into our apartment, we knew that it was something we wanted to get rid of immediately. So we contacted Terminex, had a contract for $1,500, which we agreed that we would each pay 1/3 of, $500 apiece. Everything went well for a couple weeks after that. The bed bugs went away. And then 2 days before September rent was due, Julian told us that he was having trouble making rent. I offered to loan him the money, the full $592, which he accepted. And then about a week after that, he paid back 400 of those. And then he said several days after that, he was thinking of moving out of LA because he was having money issues. We understood, but I told him that he was still on the hook for the rest of the loan that I had given him. And then on September 17th, 2012, he moved out. His furniture was gone while me and my roommate were both at work.
Okay.
I texted him asking for the rest of it, and he said he would be sending it shortly. He said, quote, he thought he left a note, which I think is funny because normally you leave a note you would remember if you're ripping somebody off.
Let me hear from him. Let me get a little background before we go back to him with the specifics.
Okay, well, I met Matt. It wasn't until after I moved in, but it's untrue about what he said about me bringing the bed bugs because the people I lived with before didn't realize they had bed bugs until far after I moved in with Matt and Jack, and also the other roommate had gave me his theory on how the bed bugs had appeared, which was the former roommate before me had went to India, I believe, and she brought them back.
You don't have to go to India to get bed bugs.
And it was before, when I was looking at the apartment, when I was deciding whether I should move in or not, my cousin and I had went, and it was the other roommate who showed us around, escorting us, and my cousin had pointed out that she saw the bedbug medicine in the closet of the room that I would be staying in, which was the former roommates. And I didn't think...
What type of bed bug medicine?
It was the spray, I believe it was either...
Does it kill the bed bugs?
Yes.
Or it stops the itching?
It kills the bed bugs. Like, I believe it was Raid or Black Flag. I'm not sure exactly. But,
go ahead.
And she pointed it out, and I didn't think anything of it. I was thinking, oh, well, there's a reason that it's in the closet. They must have this problem under control. But it wasn't. Anyway, sorry about that. So it was $592. It was a month, and they didn't tell me until after I moved in that there were utilities, but everybody has to pay them, so I had no problem with it. There were also cable and a Netflix and Wi-Fi, which I wasn't sure about until far after.
What was the agreement on utilities?
It was going to be
Divided evenly?
Yes, 3 ways.
All right, well, you can't nickel and dime who watched what the most.
Your Honor,
Yes.
the Netflix was entirely separate, paid for by our third roommate. That was not part of Julian's rent at all, or his utilities.
That's what I was told anyway.
What are the specifics of the things you're suing?
Basically, once we realized Julian was not going to pay us the rent, we took him to small claims court. He received the summons and contacted us saying he would like to settle.
Okay.
We agreed, written up a contract, which I'll submit right here.
Told you a little poor man's lawyer.
Trying to help out, Your Honor.
You been to jail?
No, sir.
Oh, you seem like a jailhouse lawyer. You got it all down. A lot of them
There are
just sit in the
times.
law library all day reading law books and they represent each other. And get
Eight
more
months.
time.
We had 8 months of Julian not paying us. We had a lot of time to think about it.
All right. Sir, what do you say to this agreement to repay
Well,
them?
I was making the payments. I made 3 payments before they just kept continuously threatening to sue me because the third payment got lost in the mail and I didn't read the contract as
I'm
thoroughly
about
as
to throw you out of here now. Your payment got lost in the mail.
Yes, and I didn't send it certified mail like I was supposed to, which I didn't read.
It was never found.
Well, no, I went to the post office to go see if I can have it pulled and resend it for them, and the post office had told me it had already been cashed. And then I had talked to Matthew, and I asked him if he had received it, and they said yes, they received it, and I was never notified.
Okay. So, what's your defense to paying the total amount?
Oh well, I mean, I stopped making the payments because they continued to sue me. But
That's what happens when you don't pay people your debt. They sue you.
I don't think I owe that much. Honestly, I don't. I don't even think I owe any of it. But first they were suing me
Why?
for.
Did you pay all of what you agreed to pay?
No, I paid $450, and I was being sued for $692.
Right. And you signed this saying you would pay how much?
$692 in total. I paid $450, and they're still suing me for $447, I believe. 57.
Okay, sir.
Total contract amount is $747, which is the Terminex and the unpaid rent.
Is that
for my
what's
loan.
on here, sir?
Sorry?
Is that the amount that's on here?
Yes.
Told you this is jailhouse lawyering. Sir, what's the total amount, sir? All I see is 150, 150, 150. No. I'm gonna have to take your law license now.
Judge Mathis will be right back. Being sued by his former roommate, who claims Julian brought bedbugs into the unit.
And he paid.
He
How
only
much of
paid
this?
$450 of the $747 in the contract.
Okay, so the balance is 472.
Correct.
All right. And you say you paid more?
I said I paid $450, but he was suing me at first for $747, I guess.
Okay, well, he's not.
And it still doesn't add up if you add them together. If you add the $450 to that, that's
I'm
about.
looking right at it, sir. I'm looking right at it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, your counterclaim for harassment, $100. How does he owe you?
Oh, he continuously sent me harassing text messages.
Saying what?
Here, there's, it says, hold on, let me see. Oh, not your last time you talked to you. Sorry. Okay, so he's harassing me and my family members.
Saying what?
And the family member one is, not yet. Last time we talked, you asked me to treat you like an adult. You haven't, so I have to find someone who is. That's when he started contacting my friends. And then here, I tell him, stop
Show me evidence that
texting.
he contacted your friends. He said he would. Now you have to
He has
demonstrate
contacted my
that he has. Whom has he contacted? Or have you contacted his friends?
I contacted one friend who's more of a mutual friend because she came to stay with us when Julian was
Was this
still
a
one of our
mutual
roommates.
friend?
It was.
And
well,
she
actually,
lived there?
No.
She didn't live there. She just came to stay with us. We got along great with her. When Julian disappeared, I reached out to her and I said, because I know you, can you please tell me what's happened to Julian?
Okay.
It was the other roommate, I guess, that contacted my other friend. He sent her a Facebook message.
Judgment for the plaintiff, $472. Friend of a friend of a friend.
Just happy this is finally resolved.
Likewise. just like to cut ties, cut loose ends, no more contact.
Did you see that last case? If you can relate to their situation and have a legal question for me,